Once upon a time, before Netflix and YouTube, before DVDs and Blu-ray, there was VHS. Those chunky black cassettes ruled home entertainment for over 2 decades. In this video, we're diving into the fascinating world of VHS tapes, how they came to be, how they took over the world, and the quirky stories that came with them. Let's rewind and press play on the story of the VHS tape. The birth of VHS stands for Video Home System, and it was introduced by the Japanese company JVC in 1976, but its journey started much earlier. In the early 1970s, several companies were racing to bring video playback into people's homes. Sony released the Betamax format in 1975, but JVC had a different vision, a tape that was longer, cheaper to produce, and more accessible for consumers. That vision became VHS. VHS versus Betamax, the format war, one of the most infamous rivalries in tech history. VHS versus Betamax. Sony's Betamax had better picture quality, but VHS had a longer recording time, up to 2 hours at first, then even longer. Consumers chose convenience over quality, and by the early 1980s, VHS was the clear winner. Fun fact, the adult film industry heavily favored VHS, which played a key role in its dominance. That same pattern would repeat with later formats like DVD and Blu-ray. The golden age of VHS. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, VHS was the way to watch movies at home. Video rental stores like Blockbuster became cultural landmarks. Families gathered around the TV with popcorn and a rented tape, rewinding at the end like good citizens. In 1985, more than 50% of American households had a VCR. By 1999, over 90% did. The first VHS movie release. The first movies ever released on VHS in the US were in 1977. Titles included The Sound of Music and Massage. The tapes cost over $50 to $100 each, much more than today's DVDs or streaming rentals. Be kind, rewind, remember that sticker? Be kind, rewind became a national catchphrase. Rewinding tapes was a sign of courtesy, and video stores would actually fine you if you didn't do it. Some rental stores even sold separate rewinding machines to protect their precious VCRs from overuse. Tapes that weren't movies. While movies were the most common VHS content, there were also workout tapes, educational programs, music videos, and even video board games. Who could forget the Buns of Steel workout series or MTV's Headbangers Ball? The rise of collecting today, VHS collecting is a passionate hobby. Rare tapes can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars online. Horror films, obscure indie titles, and banned or censored movies are especially valuable. A sealed copy of Disney's Beauty and the Beast Black Diamond Edition has sold for over $10,000 on eBay, though most go for less. Unusual formats. While standard VHS tapes were the most common, there were also SVHS, Super VHS, Compact VHS or VHS-C, and long play tapes. Some could hold up to 8 hours of footage. VHS and pop culture VHS tapes made appearances in tons of pop culture moments. Movies like The Ring turned VHS tapes into icons of horror. Shows like Stranger Things use VHS aesthetics to nail that 80s vibe. And for millions of people, taping shows off TV with a blank cassette was their first experience with recording and editing content. When did VHS die? DVDs began to take over in the late 1990s. They were smaller, had better picture and sound, and didn't need rewinding. By 2006, most studios stopped releasing new titles on VHS. The last major Hollywood film released on VHS was A History of Violence in 2006. Fun facts about VHS. Let's rapid fire through some cool trivia. A standard VHS tape holds 1,410 feet of tape. Rewinding a tape all the way takes about 60-90 seconds. VCRs were once luxury items. Early models cost over $1,000. There's a Guinness World Record for the largest VHS collection, with over 50,000 tapes. VHS tapes can degrade over time, especially if stored near magnets or in high heat. There was a short-lived attempt at a VHS phone, where you could record calls onto tape. In some schools, VHS tapes are still used to this day, especially for older training materials. Disney used a unique clamshell case for many of its VHS releases to stand out on store shelves. The phrase straight to video started with VHS and referred to movies that skipped the theaters entirely. Some rare promo tapes were sent to video stores only, never released to the public, making them extremely rare now. The legacy of VHS, while it's largely obsolete, VHS had an enormous impact. It gave people the power to choose when and how they watched media. It birthed an entire home video industry, launched video rental empires, and changed entertainment forever. Even today, the VHS aesthetic is a favorite among artists, collectors, and nostalgics. In a world of digital perfection, the grainy, flickering charm of a VHS tape holds a special place. What was your favorite VHS memory? Did you have a rewinder shaped like a race car? Or maybe you wore out your copy of The Lion King? Drop your favorite tape in the comments and tell us what video topic you want to see next.